What's up, film junkies? I'm Jared Poirier, and welcome to my movie review show where I talk about movies. So on today's show, we're talking about a film that actually came out a while ago. This is a film that I missed when it first came out, but obviously this movie got a lot of critical acclaim, and it even won the Academy Award for Best Picture. And I'm really glad that I ended up getting caught up on this one. That's right, guys. On today's show, we're talking about Birdman.
And I know you guys want me to talk about Birdman. And I know you guys want me to review that shit. And I know you guys want me to talk about Birdman. And I know you guys want it. That's why I'm reviewing it.
Alright, so this is my review of Birdman, and let's get into it. So this movie was directed by Alejandro Inarritu, and there are some very famous stars in this movie. Michael Keaton, Edward Norton, and Emma Stone, to name a few. So there are a lot of really good things about this movie, but the first thing that I want to talk about is the cinematography. This film is shot in a very interesting and very unique way. There's a lot of handheld camera work, and this really allows the camera to get up close and personal in the action. Pretty much all of the camera work in this movie is really phenomenal and very creative, and I actually think that this movie is worth watching for the cinematography alone. Another really great thing about this movie are all of the fantastic performances. In fact, this is a movie that is very performance driven. This movie is good because the performances are good. And everybody in this film gets their moment to shine. Michael Keaton is a pretty complex character. He's a bit washed up, but we can feel all of the emotions that are going through him as he tries to rebuild his career. Edward Norton is this character who you sort of love to hate. He's a bit of a dick, but there are quite a few moments where you can feel for him and you understand where he's coming from and you understand his commitment to art above all else. And Emma Stone, she gives a fantastic performance in this movie. I've seen her in some other movies and I think that generally she delivers a good performance. I don't think that there's a lot of variation in her acting. I think she's usually playing like a similar type of character in a lot of these roles. I'm fine with that. And in this movie, I thought that she had some moments of really fantastic acting. Particularly this one part where she's trying to explain to Michael Keaton just how irrelevant he's become. And Zach Galifianakis is in this too. He does some pretty emotional acting at some points. Most of the time, he's just a bit of a comic relief. So all in all, this movie had some of the best acting that I've seen in a while. And like I said, this movie really relies on the strength of these performances. Another thing that I really liked about this film is the excellent pacing. This movie takes place in like the back rooms of this theater, and that's an environment that if it wasn't handled properly could be very boring. But the director has created a very engaging and emotional film that hits you in the feels in a lot of different ways and really keeps you engaged as an audience member. I was interested in watching this movie because I cared about the characters. I cared about what happened to them, I cared about their struggle, and I wanted to see what ends up happening in the end. So yeah, I think that if this material wasn't handled properly, this movie could have turned out very boring, and the fact that it turned out fantastic is really a credit to the director. And for the last bit of this review, I want to talk about some of the themes in this movie. The first theme that I'll cover is this movie's approach to comic book movies. There's lots of characters in this movie who basically talk about superhero blockbusters as the bane of the entertainment industry. They talk about how these films take no risk and have virtually no artistic merit. And Michael Keaton's character, Birdman, he's actually this guy that used to be in those type of movies, and now he's really trying to get his legitimacy back as an artist. And I thought that particularly these days, with superhero films being so popular and so ubiquitous, it is pretty important to really analyze the effect of these movies on the culture. And to me, I mean, I'm someone who's a huge fan of these films. I think that they actually have done some good things for the culture, but I can definitely recognize that the oversaturation of these kind of superhero blockbusters drives out some films with maybe a little bit more artistic integrity. And this movie got me thinking about all of that stuff, so I guess that's good. Another topic that this movie definitely deals with is the concept of relevancy and the concept of legacy, and just the fact that when you're famous, people will praise you so much and love you so much, but it's so fast until you're just washed up and no one cares about you anymore. And in this movie, Michael Keaton is really fighting to be relevant again in a world that's moving so fast that it seems to be getting away from him. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. So yeah, I don't really know what to say other than that. This is an excellent movie. I very highly recommend it, even if you are a fan of blockbusters and superhero movies that this film is critiquing. I think that you will still enjoy these performances and you will come away being a fan of Birdman. Alright, and that is going to be it for this video. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and before I go, I just want to let you know that I'm actually going to be taking a little break from YouTube. I'm going to be popping down to Cuba for a little while and enjoying a bit of a vacation. So that means that there's going to be no video next week, but I'll be coming back the week after that, fully refreshed and ready to bring you guys some more excellent movie nerd content. I've got a video on Netflix coming up, pretty late probably, review of Alita Battle Angel, another hot takes video for sure. I'm having a lot of fun with those. But yeah, other than that, that is gonna be about it for this video, guys. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time.